This has been a First Alert weather update. We now return you to our regularly scheduled programming.
It's certainly always been there. How much does he have to put his car on the ragged edge to resist the charge from behind from that Cadillac power?
For those of you just turning on, just past the top of the hour, largest ever attended Rolex 24 in history. The longest caution period in Rolex 24 history. And this car leading the race with Felipe Nasr behind the wheel could just be the third team in history to win 3 in a row. This could very well be an historic Rolex 24 for so many reasons.
And for Jack Aiken and Cadillac Racing, reliability has been part of the story. Just a few hours ago, one of the other Cadillacs here, the Wayne Taylor car, losing something catastrophically in the powertrain, led to fire on pit lane. And you got to think that Cadillac's studying all the information, Cal, and trying to figure out, do we have an issue that'll be systemic, or is Aiken good to finish?
I think he's all in either way.
Hey,
they're going to yeah, exactly. They're going to go all in. They want that win in the biggest possible way.
We couldn't ask for more. It's seemingly every year the Rolex 24 delivers a gripping finish.
Active in terms of making and trying to open up a hole in that traffic.
I'm just thinking if there's two cars that are in their respective classes that are sitting in second that were both penalized after qualifying. One is this car, we've told that story already. The other is the one in GTD Pro of Paul Miller Racing. The iHeartRadio entry, they also lost their qualifying position and were forced to the back, and they've come through, and on energy levels and pit stop cycle, they are looking like favourites to win GTD Pro. How uncanny are those two stories?
Yes,
and similarities?
Yeah, unbelievable. Paul Miller Racing consolidating their effort down from a 2-car entry last year down to just this #1 machine. They're in great shape. They've got 67% energy on board. That should get them to the checkered flag. The driver and the car they're chasing down is young Sebi Priaulx, recently announced as one of Ford's hypercar drivers for 2027. He leads aboard the 65 car that won this race last year, but he's really low on energy. He's going to have to hit pit lane here, probably in the next 3 to 5 laps. So that'll put the lead in the hands of this #1 BMW M4.
But for the #1 BMW, don't count out what's behind the number 75 of Maro Engel. As we just heard from Will Power on the Peacock pit box, one of the best GT drivers that Will Power's ever seen up close. And he has a lap time so far that's 4/10 faster in this race than Harper. He sits about 3 seconds behind, but it could be a German battle to the finish between BMW and Mercedes for GTD Pro.
What you're saying is Will Power could get a Rolex wristwatch on debut.
Yeah. And this would be the car right now, the Sun Energy car. That front hood seam still flapping a little bit at top speed, but it looks to be holding on.
His teammate Chazzy won one with BMW here a handful of years ago, so he knows the drill. They got it in the hands of the German. What an ace he is. Runs so many races, 25, 30 races a year aboard an identical machine. He knows this car like the back of his hand. By putting on an old pair of slippers, he is so comfortable aboard this machine.
And the advantage with that experience is not just in terms of how you drive the car, but how you adjust the car. So traction control, ABS settings. So how you control power down, how you control slowing down with ABS, what you do with the brake bias. It's all those subtleties, plus the magic of what you can do with your hands and feet over the tire stint. The car behaves differently on new tires versus old tires. All of that experience is the magic secret sauce when it comes to closing things out on top.
So you see the Sun Energy on the side of that Mercedes. That is the company founded and run by Kenny Habul, the team owner, very successful Australian entrepreneur who's lived here in America for years, but he grew up a huge motor racing fan, and he's gone on to do special things himself in sports cars. Long-time friend of Rick Hendrick and a long-time sponsor of Hendrick Motorsports. I want to say Chase Elliott got his first road course cup win in a Sun Energy sponsored car. Really good friends with Denny Hamlin, and he's known Will Power and Chaz Mostert for a long time. So this is a dream come true for Kenny Habul with his long-time teammate and driver Maro Engel. Chris, it's a terrific story.
It certainly is, Lee, and the stars are aligning for this Sun Energy group, because talking to Kenny Habul, I said, why did it change to the livery of the car? It's not your typical kind of orange, it's now chrome blue. He said, we need to find some sort of luck here. We haven't finished the last 3 years. The last time we ran a chrome blue livery at Daytona, we claimed a runner-up finish in GTD. So this is something that we're leaning on a little bit of luck, and it's certainly paying off, Matt Yoakum, for this group.
And the Ford Mustang, the 65 Chevy Creole, has brought that car to pit lane for service. Meanwhile, it's been a prolific stint by Felipe Nasser in the 7. Race strategist Travis Law told him as soon as they dropped the car off the jacks, give me everything you've got. Give me everything you've got on your outlap. And he did perfectly. And I go back to what Nasser told me when this program started. He took a step back and ran a GTD Pro car for Porsche. And he said that's what really made him the complete driver. It allowed him to make decisions without even thinking, no hesitations. And he said, it really paid off when I got in this car. It took me to another level. And that's where he's at right now.
Yeah, he's got to use every ounce of that knowledge to try and bring this Porsche home to victory lane, Matty.
Less than half an hour remains here at the World Centre of Racing. Can Felipe Nasser do it again?